One team is into the championship bracket. The Canada Eagles of Conway have made it to the Class I championship. It'll be their first appearance in a championship game since 1962, when they played and lost to St. John's High of Concord. The other team, well, that's to be decided tonight in this game between the top-ranked and undefeated Pembroke Academy Spartans and the defending champs and fourth seed, the Indians of Merrimack Valley High School. What a matchup. They've met 3 times this season, Harvey Smith. And I think coming into the year, everybody agreed that Pembroke was the team to beat, that the Class I championship, the road to it, went through Pembroke, and the Indians are getting another shot at the Spartans.
They are, and Kevin O'Brien, the Merrimack Valley coach, has said all along that he was using his entire season schedule, including the 3 games against Pembroke, as a training ground to bring along the young, inexperienced players, hoping to get one shot at Pembroke down here. Kevin feels that he now has the bench. He used his bench a lot this year, even though it meant maybe taking a couple of losses along the way. But I think his bench was dealt a serious blow when they lost Bobby Farrell the other night, Jim, and that he can't go to the bench with the flexibility that he could just as the regular Class I season came to a close. And I think that the bench now favors Pembroke Academy. The starting 5 certainly favors Pembroke Academy. They beat Merrimack Valley decisively 3 times here in 1990, and nothing leads me to believe that they can't do it a 4th time.
Except this is high school basketball and high school sports, and the old cliche on any given night, but you're right, it's going to take a very, very good effort by the Indians. You almost have to say the only thing that will beat Pembroke is Pembroke. Perhaps Merrimack Valley should retire the number 13 uniform. A year ago, David Huckins wore number 13. This year, Bob Farrell wore number 13. And you're right, it's going to be an awful big loss. Maybe not so much in the starting 5. I think Andy Alicia has shown that he can play. But it's on that bench. Now they don't have an Alicia to go to. They don't have an Alicia, or conversely even a Bobby Farrell to go to, who would come in like a Kevin McHale and really pick the Indians up. I do think that there has been one pattern that has developed between the Indians and the Spartans this year over the 3 games, and that is this. Merrimack Valley has played them tough over the first 3 quarters of the game. I really believe that these are the top 2 teams in Class I playing here tonight in the semifinals. With all due respect to Kennett, you see on your screen, who finished 2nd, and Timberlane, who finished 3rd. Kennett and Timberlane split their 2 regular season games. Kennett won the tiebreaker here tonight in a great ball game before a packed house just moments ago. But the first game between them, Jim, Merrimack Valley led at the end of 1 period of play. And they trailed by only 2 at halftime. They trailed by 3 at the end of 3 quarters. They were behind by 10 at the Christmas tournament, but they only trailed by 10 at 3 quarters. They were only behind by 2 or 3 in the most recent game at Merrimack Valley. It was close at halftime. It was even close at the end of the 3 periods. But after 3 periods of play, Pembroke just wore Merrimack Valley down with that up-tempo game, and Ed Clough wants to get it into a running game here tonight to tire the Valley out. And all 3 games took that kind of a trend on. The Valley would hang in there for 3 periods, and then they would fade in the final period. You got to think they've got to get a big game out of Drapeau, not only in points but in rebounds. The other night, I believe Scott was held for somewhere around 6 or 7 rebounds in that victory over Monadnock. Also, you got to think that somewhere out of the guard play, they've got to have a big night, 15 or 20 points from somebody. That's a good point, Jim. The guards are the key for Merrimack Valley. There's no question that Ed Clough's going to pack it in with his Pembroke kids. They're going to double down on Scott Drapeau in the paint, 2 and 3 Spartans in there, and they're going to let Merrimack Valley shoot from the outside, and those guards are going to have to come through and hit that outside jumper to loosen things up for Scott underneath. Where Scott is the most dangerous is not getting him the ball for the initial shot. It's after the Valley shoots the ball. He is so tough on that 2nd and 3rd shot, but the Valley kids have to be shooting well from the outside to have a chance in this one. Well, the nice thing is we are guaranteed of a capital city area team, one of the teams that we cover on Channel 12 throughout the winter, of having one of those teams in the championship. And I know there are a lot of you out there who are Merrimack Valley fans and Pembroke Academy fans, but hopefully when it's all done with tonight, we'll have one team to root for against Kennett on Saturday night. Now, Harvey's going to chat with Kevin O'Brien and Ed Clough when we come back to UNH right after this.
Sometimes finding answers to your financial questions is like going on a wild goose chase.
Point win at Merrimack Valley, but here they're playing it on the big court for the right to play in the state championship. And Harvey Smith is with Kevin O'Brien and Bobby Farrell down courtside. Harv?
We're in the Merrimack Valley camp here for a few minutes. Bob Farrell, 6'6" junior, won't be in this semifinal game. Broke his collarbone the other night on the way to the bus before the quarterfinals. Bobby, how you feeling? How's that shoulder doing?
It's a little sore. I'm doing all right.
It's not very pleasant to have to sit here and watch this after all the work you put in over the summer, I'm sure.
No, it's not. But
Listen, you are coming along so well, and I just want you to know that a lot of us in the media appreciated your efforts this year. And I hope you hang in there and have a great summer and come back with a really good senior year.
thanks.
Let's talk to Coach Kevin O'Brien. Kevin O'Brien, I know the loss of that kid, 6'6", Bobby Farrell. Where it hurt you the most is the flexibility with your depth on the bench. You had worked so hard to build up that depth this year for Merrimack Valley, and now you don't have him to go to down there.
Yeah, it makes a real big difference for us. You know, Bobby'd really come along offensively, and in addition to that, he, just had given us some strength rebounding. So, but we'll make the adjustment. We made the adjustment in the Monadnock game. At least we've had a couple days to work on it now.
Okay, what about Matalosa? I know you've been playing him straight up man-to-man in the first 3 games. Any special attention for him tonight?
I think we're still going to come out and play him straight up man-to-man, and we're going to try to really play him tight when he gives up the ball. You know, we're not going to play up in a passing lane. We're going to play right on him, and hopefully that'll make a difference. We're hoping to make Pembroke get other kids involved in their offense like Clark and Abbott.
Well, you're here for the 3rd time in a row and trying to get into the finals. Good luck to you. You've done a great job there.
Thank you very much.
All right, Jim, we're going to catch up with Ed Clove.
All right, Harvey, and the game just ended. It was Kennett over Timberlane, 51-49. They had split in their 2 games during the regular season. Jeff Perry in that game leading the Eagles with 21 points, and Matthews with 10. Mesquita had only 5 points, but really controlled the tempo out there, 51-49. And the folks from Conway, as we're going to take some footage of that game as Harvey Smith speaks with Ed Clove.
Hey, Jim, we have the tactician down here, Ed Clove. He's been in this situation. All right, Jim, we have Ed Clove here, the master tactician behind this Pembroke juggernaut. He's been here several times before, and no matter how many times you've been to the semis, Coach, still tough on the gut, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough because, you get that close and you just want more. I think that's natural.
The game plan for you guys defensively, I know that I know you're going to give Scott Draper a little bit of attention out there.
Yeah, we want to, as soon as the ball goes into him, we're going to double and triple him and make sure he doesn't have a clear path to the basket. We feel that he's an excellent offensive rebounder and follows his shot real well.
Coach, the other night and in your final 2 regular season games, a lot has been, media attention has been directed towards your offense, 90 points a game, and Matalosa's 35 points a game. But am I wrong? You can correct me. Your defense has really been solid the last 2 or 3 games, and you have to be pleased with that.
Yeah, it has been. We run mostly zone, as you know. We mix it up, but we like to run out of the zone. We feel we run much better that way, and it's been pretty solid. If we can box out and keep people off the boards, then we're doing a good job.
Ed, the first 3 games I thought showed a little bit of a trend, a little bit of a pattern that Merrimack Valley hung in there with you guys at Pembroke for 3 quarters, and then they wilted in the final period. Does that have anything to do with you guys keeping the up-tempo going?
Well, we hope so, because that's exactly what we want to do tonight. Keep the transition in our favor out at full court. And I think maybe we got an ally here if we can get through it ourselves, because this gym is very, very hot tonight. And that may take some energy out of the kids.
Well, good luck to you and Pembroke. I know you personally are looking for your 7th trip to the final as a coach. So go get it.
Thank you very much.
All right, Ed Clove, Kevin O'Brien, the 2 coaches from the capital city area that have done so much for basketball around our city. They are going to square off here at the University of New Hampshire before a sold-out crowd here at UNH. We'll have the tap-off exclusively on television here on Channel 12 right after this. Come and join us.
Guard, Mike Monahan and John Byer, the forwards, and Eric Abbott, really that 3rd forward and that 3-forward setup for Ed Clove, but he was announced as the center here tonight. And the Indians take the ball first. The winner to play Kennett for the state championship on Saturday night, and we will have that game for you here. Trapo takes the first shot of the night, picked off the boards by Abbott, and here come the Spartans on the break. Alosa to Monahan, and the Spartans go on top.
Boy, they really get the ball up the floor fast. Nice square-up shot off the fast break by Monahan. Nice full-length pass by Matalosa to start the Spartans off.
And Chloe isn't fooling. It is warm in here. You can feel it up here.
Wow. No call.
Jeff Kibbe puts it back. All right, Jeff had 9 points in their victory over Monadnock. Matalosa.
That's a nice pull-up jumper by Matalosa off the drive, going to his left.
Andy Alcea puts it up for 3. Clark clears the boards.
I'm sure Pembroke would love Andy to take that shot all night.
Here's the running game that Ed Clough referred to. Drapeau grabs the rebound. And again, the other night, Drapeau had 6 rebounds, Alcea 7, and Jeff Kibbe 9 in their victory over Monadnock. For Pembroke Academy, John Byer had 13 against Conval. Drapeau loses it. Picked up by Clark. 4-2. The Spartans up in front early here in our game of the week. New Hampshire Savings Bank gives you clear, straightforward answers to your financial questions. Stop in and start saving for your future today at New Hampshire Savings. Eric Abbott.
Ed Clough wanted to see a big game out of his 6'3" junior, Eric Abbott. Nice penetration. Matalosa drove by Jason Smith, picked up the double team down low, and he dished it off nicely to Eric Abbott. I don't think a man-to-man can work against Matalosa here. We'll have to see.
Great bone, a bounce to Kibbe. Billy Clark get back in. Byard taps it. Alcea into the paint to Drapeau.
That's Scott's first hoop of the night. Scott 1 for 3 from the floor, off to a little bit of a sluggish start for him. Kennett High School will be the opponent here, and as Jim told you in the pregame, they haven't been here since 1962. Matalosa misses from the outside.
Scotty was 11 for 20 from the field.
And the guy officiating down there, Jim, played in that game. Dick Gagne for St. John's.
Final score 40-27.
Poor Scott Drapeau having an awful night.
They're going to call that on Todd Hill.
5:11 to play. First period. We're just underway here on Channel 12. I know a lot of you were at the game down in Durham, and hope you're back snuggled into your living rooms now, watching the retelecast here. I'll tell you, it seems like everybody in the communities of Pembroke and Pennacook are here tonight. This place is packed. We'll look at that block foul here in a minute. Certainly got the crowd into it.
Monahan taken by Drapeau. Kennett, by the way, had won the championship the year prior to that, winning 74-62 over St. John's. They had quite a rivalry back in those days.
They did.
Drapeau ties it up.
That's tough right off the offense. Scott drives in from his right.
John Byer from the foul line.
Look at Merrimack Valley trying to fast break here.
Drapeau to Kibbe, and he loses it, but it's knocked out.
Here's the one that got the fans into the Byer. Puts the outlet pass out to Matalosa, and they called blocking right there.
Really tough to tell on that replay, but
did Todd Hill have his feet established? I couldn't tell from the replay.
No, you couldn't.
And I didn't see the original play. I was writing down a statistic on Scott Drapeau at the time.
Drapeau getting it into the big guy.
Well, after going 1 for 5, he's now come back with 2 in a row to give his team the lead, 8-6, the Valley over Pembroke.
Billy Clark blocked by Drapeau, and he takes it away.
Oh, Drapeau looks tremendous down there on defense. He swatted away a couple, and he's come up with a couple of big defensive rebounds already.
Folks from UNH looking on with more than
Nice
just
pass.
passing interest in this game.
Alcea gets the hoop, but what a nice play by Jason Smith.
Matalosa, and he is fouled by Smith.
Just when you think you have room to breathe, Alosa comes right back.
Now, Matt had a tough night the other night from the foul line, 9 of 18. And knowing Matt, he probably spent some time practicing foul shots in the last couple of days.
Look at it again here. Here's Matt off the drive. Smith in front of him. Matt into the paint. Squares up, jumps, swish, and he gets his foul shot. Yeah, he complained about the depth perception in here bothering him on his foul shots. 10-9. the Valley with a 1-point lead and the ball. 3:24 to play, first period here on Channel 12.
Boucher trying to force it in. It was rejected by Bertel. Alosa, Ryan Bertel gets his own rebound, puts it back. Jason Smith can't save it along the baseline.
Nice defensive play by Ryan Bertel, a sophomore down the other end. Couldn't finish off. A nice pass by Alosa. Watch for Alosa coming to the right here. He scored twice off that inbounds play the other night.
That's good for 2. And the Spartans are back out on top, 11-10. 2:53 to go here in period number 1 at UNH. The Indians looking to become the first team since Timberlane in '82 to repeat, only the 4th team in the history of Class I to repeat. If they can win here tonight and take on Kennett on Saturday night.
Foul's going to go against Billy Clark. He ends up flat on his back. He's a little disappointed with the call down there.
Well, the people from Kennett feel, with all the talk around the state, that the winner here is going to win the state championship.
We'll have a chance to talk to Peter Ames of Kennett here at halftime. He'll be one of our halftime guests here on Channel 12.
Monahan, a little bit too hard off the glass. Gibby's got it.
He was one step away. He needed one more little dribble and then explode up.
Andy Alessia on a nice feed.
This kid has really come around, hasn't he? 6'2" junior.
Losick and right back down the other end.
Adalosa's off to a nice start. 4 for 5 from the floor. He's looking
all
solid.
alone underneath Kibby. He tried to take the shot before he got the ball.
Peter Cavanaugh, 6'2" senior, heads on to give Billy Clark a rest down there. Very hot in here tonight. And Ed Clogue goes to the bench first. And also in the game for Merrimack Valley, Mark Boucher.
Fire, they're calling for steps. Don's Physical Fitness Center can keep you fit all year long with racquetball, aerobics, basketball, pool, Nautilus equipment, and free weights. At Don's, total fitness is our thing. Got
Zone defense by the Valley.
Boucher.
That's the shot that's got to go if the Valley entertains any hopes of winning this.
Fired to Monahan, who's all alone for the easy deuce. Little sneak away from Michael.
And John Vire, the quarterback, full length of this UNH court. Perfect pass right to Monahan. John Vire had a tremendous all-around performance the other night in the quarterfinals. So did Mike Monahan.
Drapo picked up by Alosa. Minute 13 to go in the period.
Out to 3. He's got that feel early tonight.
That's his second 3 of the tournament. 6-point lead now for the Spartans. Alessia. Good job by Bertel fronting up Scott Drapo, preventing that entry pass.
That's just an amazing shot by Matalosa. Pull up for a 3 off the fast break. No reservation, just knocked it home.
Offensive rebound. Are they going to say it's good? Going to call the foul on Bertel, and yes, it is good.
They get Glow wanted steps on Drapo on the initial shot down there.
Looked like it might possibly have been some steps from up here. Maybe we can take a look at it.
See Ed Glow on your screen. Got the gray Spartan sweater on tonight. He had the green one on in the quarterfinals. Said he alternated all year long and it didn't hurt them. They're 19-0.
12 points for Alosa, 9 points for Drapo. 18-15. Pembroke on top. Under a minute. Goes up to 3. Bertel saves it to Cavanaugh. To John Vire. Bertel is going to kick it back out to Billy Clark. Cavanaugh left side. Drapo finally puts an end to things for the Indians.
And Alosa making life miserable down there for Drapo on that rebound.
Boucher steps. All right, you see if Drapo took some steps here.
Inbounds pass. Here's Drapo. Feet on the floor. 1, 2, no, maybe not. Great
15
hustle.
seconds.
Great hustle for that rebound. You see him just leap to the other side?
Boucher playing Alosa tight. Kavanaugh's got to hustle. 2 seconds to go. 18-15. Pembroke leading at the end of one. We'll come back to Durham after this. And we'll be picking up coverage of Concord High next Wednesday night. Right now it looks like Spalding unofficially. Pairings will be out Friday. Drapo using the glass.
This game is so reminiscent of the first and the third played between these two during the regular seasons. Pembroke by 4 at the end of one down there in Pembroke. And they were all tied up at 16 apiece up there at Merrimack Valley. Here, just a few seconds into the second period, it's 18-17. And again, it's following that pattern, that little trend where the Valley will stay around for 3 periods.
Vicky Gagne calling a foul on Andrew Alasia on that last play.
John Vire averaging 15 points a game.
Don did not score from the foul line the other night against Conval.
He had 16 against Merrimack Valley, 28 at the Christmas tournament, and 18 after Christmas in the 3 games. And he's off to a tough start.
Eric Abbott beating Drapo for the rebound. Now Alosa controls. Fire. And John is going to be called for the foul.
John is off to a horrendous start for him. And 0 for 4 from the floor, 0 for 2 from the foul line. He's had a tremendous night on the boards already. He was a great rebounder the other night in the quarterfinals. He had that 1 touchdown pass, but John usually likes to get a better start than that. We'll see if he can rebound here. He's a tough kid.
Boucher. Gibby. Alasia. Jeff having some problems holding onto the ball. Boucher for 3.
Apparently Kevin's given Mark the green light on that shot.
Alosa has it taken away by Todd Hill in the paint.
Good play defensively by Hill, the senior. One of the very few kids in this game who won't be back next year.
Todd Hill's going to put it up.
See, they've had the green light to open things up.
Well, you live by the 3, you die by the 3.
Yep. I think they ought to get in a little bit closer to take those open shots. It would give Scott a better chance to rebound. Usually 3-point shots come winging way off.
Now they gave the shot to Billy Clark, and he took it. Saw the opening in the lane and went.
Clark's not known as a scorer, but he can score if he has the opportunity. He had 10, 2, and 8 against his team in the 3 games.
Drapo from the foul line.
And he might have been hit.
15 points for Drapo already.
And the Valley takes a 1-point lead.
John Vire.
There's Vire's first hoop.
That takes the lid off a little bit.
Yep. Now we'll see him come around. He's a tough athlete, John Vire, 6'3" junior.
What a treat. Great neighborhood rivalry, and what a setting. Place is packed. Kibbe off to Drapo, and he is fouled by Vire. Number 2 on John. That'll put Scotty on the line. Drapo the other night on the foul line was 2 for 2.
Mike Monahan's got to get back involved with the offense here. He had the hot hand early, and he really hasn't seen the ball over the last 4 or 5 minutes. Let's look at it again. Entry pass into Vire. Into Drapo. Along comes Vire. Gets up there, and Scott is just so tall that Vire could only hit him on the wrist. Drapo makes 2.
17 points for Drapo here in the early going. If you're looking for quality and dependability in an electrical contractor, don't forget Amber Electric. Whether the job is large or small, for home or business, call Larry and Sue at Amber Electric in Pennacook. Billy Clark, they're going to call it on the big guy.
Was Drapo established? I don't think so. Clark's awfully quick. You got to be there a step ahead of time and have those feet planted. Good to see Drapes move his feet that fast. Nice move.
Didn't get the roll. Drapeau. Boy, they look at the 4 players just sagged on Scott. Boucher trying to beat the defense back. Throws up.
Look who's got the rebound.
Right back the other way. Well, I tell you, with the heat in this building and the way they're going up and down.
Somebody's going to get awfully tired here. It's probably going to be both teams the way they're going at it.
Boucher. Drapeau.
Somebody's on the floor. It's going to get called for a foul. It's Billy Clark.
2 on Billy.
And Ed Cole's going to have to go to the bench. He's going to go to Kavanaugh.
Also the other night, Pembroke had only 9 turnovers. Merrimack Valley committed 11 against Monadnock.
You know, 9 and 11 really aren't bad in a tournament game.
Not at all.
High school kids, setting like this, big crowds, that's really remarkable. Valley by 2.
18 points for Drapeau and still 5 minutes or so to go in this first half.
He looks so strong tonight. Man-to-man now.
25-22, largest lead of the night for Merrimack Valley.
They clear out the right side. Smith on Alosa.
They're trying to use some fresh legs on Matty. Eric Abbott.
They've got to do more of that. They've got to get inside with their offense. Get away from that outside shooting for a while, Pembroke does.
Todd Hill. And Kavanaugh ties up Edney.
Kavanaugh gets in there, and I'm sure he's saying to his buddy Bill Clark, that's the way you do it. You block it like that. You don't foul. You keep your hands up. Don't reach in.
Monahan puts up a 3.
Just missed. Little undisciplined and not very patient on offense, these Pembroke Spartans. They were so patient the other night against Conval. A great team balance.
Drapeau just inside the foul line. 20 points for Drapeau. 27-24.
Is he going to have a career night here? He had 20 points in the last game against Pembroke in total. That game up there at Merrimack Valley, in which the Pembroke won 79-61. Scott had 20 points, and what's he got, 20 here tonight already?
Already. Jason Smith called for his second foul. One and one for Matt.
That's much better tonight. Much better release. Look at it again. Matt with the ball, top of his screen. Dekes out Jason, and Jason just wasn't set. He tried to close off the middle, but he just was not set. What has to happen there when Alosa gets inside the foul line, Jason Smith needs help. Those Merrimack Valley kids have got to get in there and clamp off that lane and force Matt to give up the ball. He's so dangerous in the paint.
$14 points for Matt.
27-26, the Valley by 1, 3:40 to play in the half. We'll talk to Kennett High School's Peter Ames, the head coach, whose Kennett team will be in the finals.
Drapeau goes up for it. And we have a foul in the process. Is it Vire or Abbott?
I think it's going to be Kavanaugh.
Abbott.
Oh, you're right. It's Abbott. That's where Scott Drapeau's the most dangerous. Not on the original pass into him. After one of those Valley Indians takes a shot, they've got to screen him off the board. They can't just look to the ball. They got to look for him and get him out of there. He looks tough tonight. You see the big crowd on your screen, part of the crowd here at Lundholm.
Most of the crowd that you're seeing from your vantage point in Merrimack Valley. Pembroke is on this side as the higher seed. 29-26, 3.5 to go in the half. Merrimack Valley on top as Alosa works the right side. Monahan's got the open 3, but goes back to Matty.
Todd Hill on Alosa now.
Just inside 3. Eric Abbott. Gibby. Good
defense by the Indians and good board work. Oh, nice pass.
Beautiful pass from Smith to Drapo.
That's amazing that Scott is that open on the zone, and Ed Clough wants a timeout as the Pennacook fans erupt across the way as their Indians take a 5-point lead, 31-26.
The story, though, Drapo with 25 of those 31 points.
Oh.
25. Kibbe has 2, Alessia has 4, and that is it. And you talk about a guy saying, climb on my back, and here we go. Right now, Drapo is leading this team against a team that has not tasted defeat since they lost to Conval on this floor a year ago.
In my opinion, Jim, again, as you see the Indians around Kevin O'Brien down there, I said it earlier in a Pembroke Merrimack Valley color class, as you look at the offense, the top 2 teams right here tonight in the semis offensively battling it out. So these are not only the top 2 teams on offense, I believe these are the top 2 teams in the state in Class I going at it here tonight in the semis.
Well, the winner of this game is going to have to take on a Kennett team that would love to have...
Look at Kennett offensively, 12th. But
Yeah,
Kennett plays a slow-down game, too.
Sure. And we'll see where they rank defensively. But Kennett would love to have the winner of this game come in thinking that they've already won the championship. They got a kid named Perry and Mosquito who can play pretty good basketball. Alessia, good inside position on Eric Abbott. Merrimack Valley with 16-8.
They're not going to take the air out of the ball now, are they, with 2:30 to play in the half?
In this period, 16-8. Jason Smith.
He was trying to dish it to Drapo at the last minute. Look at Drapo come down and knock it away from Alosa, preventing the Pembroke fast break. The UNH head coach is here, and I'm sure he's liking what he sees here. He would like Scott to come down here to UNH and play ball for him. I know that.
You can probably forget about this guy, but he'd love to have Drapo, I'm sure.
Be nice if Alosa and Drapo both came here. Matt's going to go to the foul line. 3 for 3 tonight from the foul line. You see number 10, Matt Alosa, on your screen.
Hill picks up number 2.
Boucher will come in and Hill will come out, and Kevin O'Brien's done a nice job of rotating those 3 guards, Hill, Smith, and Boucher, all taking turns on Matt Alosa out there defensively. Let's look at this. There's a steal in the lane, and the big guy, look at Drapo, hustle down to half court and prevent the fast break. Great hustle, 6'8", and he can really air it out on the big court here.
All right, it's a 5-point spread, 31-27, 4-point spread. Alessia is up to help out.
And the Pembroke guards have yet to hit one of those outside shots, but Drapo's doing a number underneath. Nobody on the other side.
Well, we set up top. The guards had to score some points, and Drapo is making a liar of us because he's carrying the load right now. But I think before it's over, they're going to have to get something out of the guards. What a play by Loso.
Yeah, they're going to call a blocking foul on Drapo. You can hear the Merrimack Valley fans booing across the way. We're going to have to take a look at that one here again on Channel 12. Did Drapo have position? And did he turn his body at the last second? Let's look at it again. Here comes Matt Alosa, number 10 in the white shirt on your screen. He gets by Boucher. Drapo moves in. Tough call. But it did look like Drapo leaned to the left just a little bit.
Yep.
He was leaning his body out there to pick up that charge.
18 points for Alosa, 2-point spread. And the thing now is if you're a Merrimack Valley, you don't want the big guy to get his third. That's going to be on Breyer. That'll be 3 on him.
I'll tell you one thing, these officials are very consistent. They are giving the kid with the ball every benefit here, and that's fine because they're calling it consistently both ways. Ed Clough, you just saw a partial picture of Ed on your screen, telling the official that he threw his elbow into Vile.
Scott Drapo with a 1-1. His team ahead by 1.
He's over the line. Scott made the shot, but he stepped over the line to get the rebound. I think, again, on that replay, Alosa driving into Scott Drapo. I think you'll agree now in the less hectic atmosphere of your living room that Scott did lean to his left to pick up the charge. Did Alosa get tripped right there?
Well,
the Pembroke fans are upset.
Matt didn't worry about it. He just got right up and got ready to play defense.
He doesn't worry about those things. Matt was commended for his sportsmanship the other night.
31-30. Minute 36 to go here. And Pembroke Fiber on North Main in Pembroke has been supplying fiberboard to the shoe industry for 50 years, and they proudly support Merrimack Valley's athletic program. And there are a ton of sponsors for both Pembroke and Merrimack Valley basketball that have joined us tonight. Hope you do business with those folks and thank them. Boucher had second thoughts on a three. Jason Smith's going to pull it out a bit. Minute 21 to go. 1 point lead for the Valley.
Okay, you can see Alosa and Monahan in white on your screen. They're the defensive guards in that 2-1-2.
Drapo sees the shot, follows, and who's it going to be on? It's going to be on
Drapo.
Scott. That's number 3. Now O'Brien has to get him out of there.
Yep. With 1 minute and 9 seconds to play here in the half. A tough time to pick up your third. The other night, Conval, trailing by 1, had the ball. Let's look at the replay again. Scott's going to take the initial shot, and then he's going to follow it up. He's going to head in. Ooh, boy. Well, that's a tough call right there because Ryan Patel initiated the contact, leaning to his right towards Scott.
Eric Abbott on the putback. Alicia with 1:04 to go is going to hold it up.
He had Boucher on the left.
Kavanaugh picks up the foul, his first.
The other night, Conval had the ball, and they were trailing by 1. They had a chance to take the last shot going in at halftime. They took a minute off this clock, and then they took the shot with 10 seconds left. And that was a big mistake because Matalosa took over, and Pembroke scored 5 points in the final 10 seconds to grab the momentum. The biggest play of the game the other night.
Alicia has a 1-1. He was 1 for 2 the other night from the line.
Had 17 points in the quarterfinals the other night. He had 11, 6, and 7 points, respectively, in the 3 games against Pembroke earlier this year. 6'2" junior has really come around.
You're going to see this young man in the starting lineup from now on, right through next year. Alosa for 3. Gibby's got it. Monahan.
Now, will the Valley take some time off the clock here with a 3-point lead and 45 seconds to play?
Uche is going to put it up to 3. Alicia, a leaper gets up there, taken away by Matalosa. Monahan for 3. It's good, and no, traveling call.
Ed Close beside himself. He's walking behind the Pembroke bench. You see Ed on your screen right now. Some tough work by the Pembroke kids right there. Taken away by the official's call. And now will the Valley hold it with 26 seconds left. Alosa and Monahan are out further on the defense. They don't have Drapo to go to in there, though.
14 seconds. Alicia. Boucher had the 3 open.
But 10 seconds were left. That's what happened.
A foul on Jason Smith.
See what happened just like the other night. 10 seconds to go. They gave up the ball. Matalosa's going to go to the line. Matt's so tough in these situations.
That's 3-2 on your starting guard, Jason Smith.
Yep. You have the ball and you end up making a foul and no shot. It's not taking very good care of the basketball by the Indian kids.
$19 points for Matalosa.
It's going to be a real momentum thing for the Pembroke kids when they go down to the locker room. You see Matt on your screen.
2 starters from Merrimack Valley in foul trouble. 1 for Pembroke Academy. And let's see, Jason Smith throws up a prayer. It's 33-32. Merrimack Valley leading Pembroke Academy, the undefeated Spartans, at halftime. It was an 18-14 second period with Merrimack Valley getting the edge. Harvey will be back to talk with the head coach of the Kennett High Eagles, who are laying in wait to take on tonight's winner of the championship when we come back.
And the Merrimack Valley Indians vying for an upset here in the Class I tournament. They lead 33-32 at halftime. Scott Drapo, tremendous first half, 25 points for the big guy, 6'8 senior, or 6'8 junior, I should say. Matalosa, not too shabby on the other side, 20 points for him. And he got 8 of them in the last minute and 30 seconds. He's that dangerous. Peter Ames, that handsome face you see on the screen with me, his Kennett High Eagles have done it. They have battled their way all the way into the finals here in Class I, and there hasn't been a Kennett High team since 1962. Coach, how does that feel?
Boy, it feels really, it's great. We, you know, we've been working hard all year, and the kids have just done the things at the right time, and I think tonight was a good example because our role players really came through for us.
As we talk, Coach, we are running footage of the semifinal game between your Kennett team and Timberlane, and two teams that know each other very, very well. You guys split your regular season games. I guess you had 3-point games between you during the regular season, so tonight's rubber matchup was really a really feisty contest.
Yeah, I think we have, you know, nice matchups with them because we have a big kid and they have a couple of big kids, and we play tough D all year, and consequently I think that the games are low scoring, and that's really just what we want. You know, we try to keep the game in the 50s, and if we can do that, we think.
Tell me, Coach, you had a 5-point lead with about, it seemed safe with 40 seconds to play, but they came down and they really attacked the ball and they attacked the boards for you. Timberlane did, and made it kind of uncomfortable at the end, didn't they?
Yeah, we were trying to get rebounds. We were playing a zone at the end of the game, and it seemed like the kids were in good position, but the ball just kept going over our heads.
Like that, see?
Yeah.
See, it just came right all over your 3 kids.
And
did you think that they were a little bit premature and try to go for the 3s?
Well, we thought maybe they'd try to catch up, but basically we wanted to give them one shot, and yet the ball kept bouncing way outside, and we weren't able to come up with the rebound. But, you know, our kids have been in close games all year, and I think it really helped us. We're just not the kind of team that's going to blow anybody out. We hope to maybe beat people by 2 or 3 points a period and come out with an 8 or 10 point win. And I think tonight was just a good example of that. You know, we kept fighting away, and Mike Downs hit a shot at the end, near the end of the first quarter, that kind of got us back into it.
Tell me, Coach, as you look at Pembroke and Merrimack Valley, are you surprised at the way the Valley's hung in here?
No, I think they've got a real good team. You know, Drapo certainly can score points, and if he has a great game, they've always got a chance to win.
I know I'm not going to ask you, I don't like coaches, broadcasters asking another coach, whom would you prefer to play? How do you match up against Pembroke? How do you match up against Merrimack Valley? Let's take Pembroke first.
Pembroke, you know, I think we're a little bigger inside with Perry than anybody they have. And so, you know, we probably would match up okay with them. Certainly with Alosa, you know, who's capable of 35 or 40 points. It's going to be tough for us.
Okay, and Merrimack Valley, how would you match up with Merrimack Valley?
Merrimack Valley, we've scrimmaged a couple of times, and I think we match up pretty well. You know, Drapo and Perry, Drapo's a little bigger, but Perry's a little stronger, and, you know, I think that's a good matchup.
Well, listen, Coach, we look forward to the finals here, and we'll be talking to you before the game. Congratulations to Kennett and the entire community. They were all here tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, we had great support all year, and tonight was just the finishing touches.
Okay, now we have 1 half to go to see who's going to play this guy here at Kennett High. Merrimack Valley leading 33-32. Come back and join us for more Class I basketball here on Channel 12 right after this.
228-8481 or 228-1810. Just underway, second half action. The Indians up 5 points, but a couple of folks in some serious foul troubles. Harvey Smith down fire for Pembroke with the 3. Scott Drapo and Jason Smith each with 3.
Well, the thinking of Ed Clough is very evident. When Scott Drapo got the ball, 4 Pembroke Spartans all around him, and they tied him up.
They don't tie him up, they'll tire him out, maybe. Maybe that's the thinking, huh? And we have a foul called in the rebounding process. And I believe it's Eric Abbott. That's going to be 2 on Eric.
Scott Drapo was 9 for 14 from the floor in the first half. Matalosa 6 for 13, including a 3-pointer. That was 7 of 8 from the foul line.
Monahan steals it from behind. Alosa on Smith. Hill gets back into the play, but Matt puts it back up.
7:14, third period. We're just into the third period here. Very, very hot night here at UNH.
Kev Kibbe. Calicia. And fire clears. Billy Clark. I think he might have thought Kibbe was going up with him.
Both teams a little bit tight here at the start of the third period.
Drapo.
Wow. Scott Drapo was having a career night. Matalosa scored 45 points against Pembroke in the first game between these two down in Pembroke. Maybe Drapo is going to reciprocate tonight. Nice dish. They weren't ready for it.
Off to Abbott. 3-point lead. Billy Clark. They're going to call it on Drapo. And Billy Clark gets the fourth foul. Merrimack Valley is in big, big trouble.
The referees have been very consistent with that call all night long. They have favored the offensive player on both sides. Drapo's going to have to come out with 27 points. Let's look at it again. Clark's going to wind up and go down the left. There's Drapo. He moves into position. I think it was a good call.
Yep.
I don't want to irritate anybody in Pennacook, but Drapo was still moving. A good call by the official. Now, while Billy Clark may not get 30 points in this game, he certainly has done his job in getting Big Scott Drapo to the bench.
Round falls on the shoulders of Hal Palmer, 6'2" senior, to help out. 2-point game now.
And with Scott on the bench, that really changes the complexion. Here comes Pembroke with a full court press, trying to change the tempo of this entire game. And those guards are going to be taxed now.
There's Smith into Kibbe.
If that's a tipped ball, that's got to go back to Merrimack Valley. That's what it is. The Valley by 2, but Scott Drapo on the bench with 4 fouls.
Knocked away by Monahan.
Look at Monahan hustle on defense.
Well, Monahan made the play, so it was only fitting that Mike got a chance to put the deuce in. Upward pressure by Alosa. 35-35.
Mike's really been coming on top of that zone defense for Pembroke.
And Monahan takes a swipe at Hill and receives a little chastising from Dickie Gagne. Mike's going to pick up his first foul, then he goes over and taps.
And then to Michael's credit, he goes over to Hill and apologizes and shakes his hands. And Dick Gagne, cooler heads prevailed on it. Dick's a fine official. Good to see him back in the state. He was on a sabbatical last year out of Winnacunnet High School and taking courses in North Carolina. Let's look at the replay on your screen right here. They have him trapped right there, and it's pretty good contact between Hill and the Monahan. And now Mike's going to take a little bit of a swipe toward him. And the referee, Dick Gagne, you see him right there. We won't have any of that. And Michael's going to go back and apologize.
Don't forget, for a complete auto body service, both foreign and domestic, call Arndt Service Center at 485-8002 or 668-1559. They offer free insurance estimates. Arndt also specializes in Mr. Lockout car entry and has 24-hour towing. That's Arndt Service Center at 60 School Street in Suncook. And Centur Furnaces, specializing in high temperature and vacuum-controlled atmosphere furnaces. You'll find them at Route 218 in Suncook. Call 485-9504, and they're cheering on the Pembroke Academy Spartans.
Well, we're all tied up at 35 apiece.
Good defense by the Spartans right now.
They are really hustling in that zone.
Billy Clark on the steal. Alosa behind the back.
And Ed Clough lets Matalosa know that he doesn't want that. A straight bounce pass would do the job. We've seen Matt make that behind the back pass several times this year. Look at the press ball of the Valley without Drapo to go to. They're having trouble coming up.
Todd Hill.
And no boards without Drapo down there.
Billy Clark sees the baseline.
Nice rebound by Billy.
Gonna drop, and he's fouled.
Quite a hustler, that kid.
Gonna be on Hal Palmer. Mark Boucher checks back into the game. Let's just say, Bill has only scored 5 points tonight, but he's made a couple of big plays. One right there.
Billy's capable of scoring. You watch Billy, he just hustles and hustles. This is on a rebound. He puts it up in traffic. People draped all over him.
One shot.
Big three-point play.
38-35. And the press causing all kinds of problems. Jason Smith breaks out of the pack, though. Watch out from behind. Boucher got a glimpse of Mike Monahan.
Full tilt harassment. That's the way the monitor labels Billy Clark.
There's a block shot. Boucher shot blocked. Well, they're going to rely on the guards even more now without Scott in there to.
Andy Alcea was wide open, and they didn't get the ball into him on the out of bounds. They need somebody to take the cover off from the outside. One of the keys is how close Merrimack Valley can stay here without Drapo.
Jason Smith is going to be off the mark. Kibbe is there. Nice putback.
That's a big hoop. That is such a big basket in this game for Jeff Kibbe, 6'4" junior.
Losa goes around the other side. Oh, that's pretty.
That's a real pretty drive by the junior guard to come up on the other side.
That is going to be a foul on Matalosa, number 1 on Matt tonight. Beatty Electrical Instrument Company in Pembroke continues their support of youth in the Pembroke area, and they'd like to wish the Merrimack Valley Indians success. So we've got sponsors out there who are rooting for both of these teams. And
you know, Matalosa did a real team thing down there. He put his hand up to try to get the foul away from Bill Clark because Matt hasn't fouled tonight, but the foul does go against Bill Clark. Heads up play by Matt, trying to protect the teammate down there.
Three-point lead.
We're going to bring back that Alosa move here in a minute.
Todd Hill. John Blair goes to work on the boards.
Alcea stops Alosa in the open court.
Eric Abbott traveling.
Watch Alosa drive left, come up underneath, spin. He turns his body 360 and goes back into the basket like he were doing a right-hand layup. I mean, that's just great control of his body.
Yeah, when you take a guy who got 25 of your 33 points in the first half out of your lineup, it's got to have an impact. And right now, the Indians are holding on. Boucher dishes to Kibbe. Nice control by Jeff to get that ball back.
2-1-2 by Pembroke. It's been a 2-1-2 all night. At times it's come out, other times it's sagged back in.
Off to Alosa, 2-on-1 with Monahan. Matt's going to take it himself. 5-point lead.
And the ball coming back to Pembroke. I think the Valley needs a timeout here. I think Ed Crow took the timeout, and not Kevin O'Brien. 2:48 to play in the third period. And Pembroke has grabbed the lead, 42-37. Scott Drapo with 27 points. Still strapped to that Valley bench with 4 fouls on him. When does Kevin bring him back?
Continental 12 would like to thank Amber Electric Incorporated, Don's Physical Fitness Center, Pembroke Fiber, Centaur Furnace, Beatty Electrical Instrument Company, Arts Service Center, and New Hampshire Distributors for their support of high school athletics in Channel 12, and they've made our coverage this season possible. Also, Soho Soda, distributed locally by New Hampshire Distributors. Enjoy the natural flavor of Soho Soda, and New Hampshire Distributors proudly support youth in the capital area. There's the Merrimack Valley huddle. Might get a chance here at some point. We'll take a look at the defense in Class I. There's Ed Clough, 5-point lead.
And a very tough night here for the Spartans, the #1 rated team, 19-0. So much pressure and adversity on them. But I've seen those kids grow in character and stature as the years unfolded.
Nice tap. Pryor tapped it back to Alosa. Monahan. And Pryor is going to pick up number 4. That means a seat on the bench, but Ryan Purtell really has come on strong this year.
Yep, Ryan Purtell, 6'3", sophomore.
The rest of the teams in Class I have got to be shaking their heads when they look at the talent coming back on Pembroke next year, and Merrimack Valley.
Both of these schools will have many of these performers back. Kennett defeated Timberlane earlier tonight by 2 points. Had the crowd just roaring at the end.
Makes the ride back to Conway a little nicer.
I don't think that the Kennett people would mind seeing Merrimack Valley win this, Jim. I got that feeling at halftime interviewing him.
I'm sure you're right. I'm sure everybody in the other bracket was hoping somebody would knock off Pembroke Academy. Kibbe. We're going to call it on.
The Valley is great adversity here, and remember, they haven't been able to use Farrell. Farrell had 8 points in the first game against Pembroke, 2 in the second at the Christmas tournament, but then he showed his greatest improvement in the third game played at the end of January. He had 16 points against Pembroke. There's Bobby Farrell on your screen. As Kibbe hits the first or 2 down there.
Well, the other night, Kibbe was 3 for 6 from the line.
Gonna feel so badly for that kid right there. Worked so hard to be here.
They had to take the number 13 uniform and burn it, huh?
Yeah. But at least, Bobby, they still have next year. Dave Hawkins couldn't say that. And I know you got to appreciate where you're at with your game right now. He's a nice kid.
Monahan. Eric Abbott battling with Kibbe, picked up by Smith to Alessia. He's got Edney with him. Andy takes it, and he's fouled by Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh didn't take the fake. Alessia looked over to Edney, breaking on the right side. Kavanaugh stayed right with him and said, I'm going to make you go to the line, Andy. You see Andy on your screen smiling. I'm going to make you go to the line and earn this. Andy Alessia, 6'2" junior. The Valley trying to hang in there for teammate Scott Drapo on that bench with 4 fouls. Let's look at it again. Alessia looked to the right and then went up, and Kavanaugh popped him pretty well. Good foul by Kavanaugh, though. I wonder if Kevin O'Brien has a certain number in mind down there, Jim, that the Pembroke gets ahead by 7 or 8, I'll bring Scott in. I wonder what he said to himself.
There's Alosa. Well, is it a number on points, or is it a time on the clock?
I'm not sure. It has to be probably the points. It has to be the points.
Nice bouncer from Smith to Edney.
The unsung heroes, huh?
Alosa just dribbles through everybody. And Abbott on the putback.
That ended up taking a bad shot for him, though.
And beyond Kavanaugh, that's number 3 on Peter. If you love to watch movies, if you love to laugh, if you want the best entertainment that Premium TV has to offer, call Continental Cable and get a real deal. Get Showtime, and there's a free preview weekend, March 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Jason Smith at the line. How many times have we been over here to Durham? Thanks to the athletes in the greater Concord area who have just given us good teams year in and year out.
Jason Smith continues his torrid shooting from the foul line. Was he the one that was 10 for 10 the other night? Great show from the foul line the other night.
The other night, Jason Smith at the foul line was 7 of 8. Boucher was 10 of 10.
All right. I know between them they were 18 of 19. 3 points by Pembroke. So they have been able to play Pembroke even with Drapo on the bench.
Alosa dished off to Abbott. Eric wasn't ready.
Eric just wasn't used to that ball coming in there like that. He was getting in rebound position, and he had good rebound position on that right block down there.
Well, when you're out there with Matt, you've always got to be ready to
never
get the
turn
pass.
your head. Never turn your head away from Matt. If you're open, he's going to get it to you.
Boucher bounces into Alicia. 25 seconds. Alosa, what a move. Andy puts it away. Down to 15, pushing it up to Edney. And Monahan on the steal. Boy, this is where they're dangerous. That's a good call right there.
Yep. Always in the last 10 seconds, Matt Alosa makes something happen.
Boucher picks up his first foul. That was a good one. But they, as you say, Harvey, have been consistent on that call all night.
They really have been. There's your scoreboard there. A big clock that hangs right in the center of the field house here at UNH. That last sequence really wasn't Smith's fault. Edney threw Smith the ball with Monahan coming right up on him. Edney probably should have just turned and shot the ball. He was wide open. Will Pembroke get a shot off? Of course.
Kavanaugh. And that is where the period is going to end. 46 for Pembroke Academy.
There's a foul down there, Jim.
And 43 for Merrimack Valley.
Ryan
And we're going to have Ryan Purtell stopping at the foul line. Let's see who Jeff Kibbe is going to pick up his first. So Purtell will be at the line.
Right at the buzzer as Purtell was shooting. Kibbe banged him.
They'll still take their full timeout between periods. There's a miss of one.
Ryan Purtell had 5 points in the quarterfinal victory the other night against Conval.
It is going to be 47-43 as we head into the final 8 minutes. We'll be back in Durham after this. For Pembroke Academy. And you got to give the Indians credit, Harvey. Without the big guy in there, they have stayed close.
And don't forget, Bobby Farrell hasn't been there all night.
Fire. That's John's second bucket of the night.
Yeah, a young man who has been silenced, but he was so deadly under pressure.
Boucher just inside 3. They have not had much out of the starting guards tonight. Smith has 2 points, and Hill doesn't have any. And Smith's 2 points are from the foul line, from the starting guards. Billy Clark. Here comes the big guy.
The magic number is 7, I guess, or 8, because here comes Drapo with 4 fouls on him.
John Byers steals the pass.
Is it too late?
Monahan, left-hander.
Bad shot.
Byers saves it. Alicia.
Pretty left-hand drive. And Scott Drapo at the scorer's table waiting to come in.
There's a steal by Kibbe. He's got Boucher with him. Alosa's back. Nice defensive move by Matt.
Terrific.
Prevented the bucket. And here comes Drapo. In for Edney.
Edney did a nice job. 6'4" senior. Would like to get into the finals for the 2nd year in a row for him.
Jason Smith for 3.
The key here for the Valley, can they keep Drapo in the game? And they're going to go right at him. Look at that. Alosa went right at Drapo. Smart move by Matt. Drapo did get the rebound.
See if they go back. See if Jason's got the touch. Into the big guy, and he is quickly fouled by Abbott. That'll be number 3 on Eric Abbott. Don't forget to learn how to create a theme or mood through the use of artwork, accent pieces, and color when Continental 12 premieres Decorating Your Home, Friday night, March 9th at 7 p.m. It is 51-48. Ed Close said before the game, you can throw out those other 3 games. This is tournament time. This is Durham, and we know that Merrimack Valley can play, and they're showing it right here, 51-48.
Yeah, playing with a lot of intensity and a lot of emotion, and they're getting some tremendous performers out of kids that you wouldn't expect, kids that haven't had the headlines all year. Jeff Kibbe has been magnanimous down here, and Mark Edney has done an awfully nice job. And that look at the huddle. Ed Clough has the Pembroke kids huddle around him, telling them, hang in there, show some poise out here. They have a 3-point lead.
Now the #1 defense in Class I awaits the winner. There's Kennett. Kennett and Timberlane actually met in the first game. Well, who's going to take control, Harvey? Will Matalosa take control for Pembroke and wrap this up, or will Scott Drapeau take control? He has not scored in this half. He's been on the bench with foul problems. Will he take control and pull off the upset? It's going to be interesting down the stretch.
Scott Drapeau had 27 points, I believe, when he went to the bench. 25 in the first half, and a quick bucket in the second half, and he picked up that 4th foul.
He missed the front end of his last 1-and-1. Not this time, though.
The key for the Valley is keeping Drapeau on the floor. There's no question about it. Ed Clough took a timeout, and I'm sure he instructed the Spartans to go at Scott and see if he can get that 5th foul on him. Let's see what Pembroke does here now. It's a 1-point Pembroke lead. Man-to-man by the Indians.
Monahan over to Clark on the weak side. Melosa had the baseline, wanted the ball.
Drapeau doesn't have a man. It's a Chinese defense.
Billy Clark goes up there.
And Clark found the opening. 4 of the Indians are playing man-to-man, and Drapeau is in the lane just playing a one-man zone.
Billy Clark has his quickness. He's got a Melosa, bounce pass, and Smith is back. Called for traveling. Good call, but he prevented the bucket.
We're seeing some outstanding defense here. See Matt Smith on your screen cheering for Pembroke Academy. Drapeau will probably let him know about that tomorrow.
Beyer up over Kibbe.
Yep. John Beyer had a horrendous first half, but when the pressure's on, he is a money ball player. He killed Concord High in the Christmas tournament down the stretch.
Kibbe, uncontested. Well, you saw the missing piece of that press breaker. And who's it on?
Whoa, boy.
On Billy Clark, as everybody on that Merrimack Valley side held their breath.
A collective sigh of relief across the way as Ed Clough looks on pensively. Whoa.
That's 4 for Billy Clark, too.
Does Beyer have 4 on him also?
Beyer's got 4 unofficially, and Kevin O'Brien waves the finger at Drapeau saying, be careful.
Drapeau made the steal out in the open court off the press. See Big Scotty on your screen. Let's look at it again. Clark comes up to guard Scott. There's going to be a little bit of physical muscle tussle between them. And yeah, Clark grabbed him on the right arm, left arm on the way down.
(55-54).
And Hill all the way down on Alosa, making Matt work to bring that ball up this huge floor.
Off to Kavanaugh. Monahan.
And Drapeau gets the rebound. Interesting defense by Kevin O'Brien. A one-man zone and 4 kids playing man-to-man.
Give it to the big guy. Drapeau, turn around. You can't go crashing the boards for the rebound.
No. And he didn't. He withheld.
Beyer.
Oh, over the back.
He is fouled by Purcell, number 3 on Ryan.
Yeah, but you know, Ryan, 6'3" sophomore, just a great try for that defensive rebound. much of an impact has Drapo made on this Merrimack Valley team since he came back in here?
Well, he is 11 of 12 from the foul line tonight, with 31 points right now.
Got to give Big Grapes a lot of credit here. A year ago, it took Paul Dean to motivate him to stay on his case as a young sophomore, and tonight he's grown up and he's taking it all on his own shoulders, and he's playing a whale of a game for Merrimack Valley, only a junior.
3:59 to go. The Indians up by a point.
Now it's a 2-1-2 zone by Merrimack Valley.
Kavanaugh dishes it off. Wire picks up a loose ball. Alosa right in front of Kibbe.
You don't think that kid wants to win? That is a big rebound by your point guard, folks. And he can get in there among the trees and get that ball and put it back in.
On the turnover, the Spartans have got it. Ryan Purtell.
So many kids are coming out as heroes in this game.
We have just hit the 3-minute mark.
The defense by Pembroke is really something else.
That's going to be on Purtell. And again, Merrimack Valley breathes a sigh of relief, and the Pembroke side lose. That's 4 on Purtell.
See the Pembroke coaches staying calm, which is a good idea in this situation because that transcends right up to their kids.
Both 13 of 14 from the line tonight.
Well, as long as Scott Drapo's on the floor, Merrimack Valley has a chance in this game. Let's look at it again. Our camera angle has a much better angle than we do. There's Drapo, and Purtell. Wow.
What an exhibition of foul shooting by Drapo. 59-58.
Nice camera angle by our guy on the stage. Good job.
Here comes Alosa, and he is called for the offensive foul.
He went at Drapo, trying to get him out of there. Tough call by Dickie Gagne, but a right call, I believe. They can't pay officials enough, Jim.
Boy, these are the big games.
And those are the big moments in the big games. The two superstars in the state of New Hampshire head on. Was it a charge or a block? Matt Alosa didn't contest it. Good sportsmanship out of Matt.
Alicia taken down by Kavanaugh. 1-point lead for the unbeaten Spartans. Alosa in and out. Monahan saves.
Yep.
Kavanaugh. He'll put it up. Alicia's got it. 2:20 to go. Drapo. In and in. And a timeout by Ed Clough. 59-58 with 2 minutes to go. The defending Class I champs not going down without a fight, Harvey.
I guess not. Look at that on your scoreboard as you see the Merrimack Valley fans, and they are really making a lot of noise here. 60-59. The Valley with a 1-point lead and 2 minutes and 2 seconds left to go. What are the coaches telling their kids right now? You see Kevin O'Brien on your screen, and his kids, he has their attention right now.
37 points for Drapo. Matty Alosa with a great night at 28 points. That's 66 for Matt in 2 games. And Drapo with the 61. The winner comes back on Saturday night to play Kennett.
Scott Drapo just broke Frank Alosa's foul shooting record. They just announced. With 15 foul shots, Frank Alosa had the record we mentioned the other night with 14 back in 1965. And Scotty Drapo has 15 here tonight to break Frank's record.
All right, here we go. Just under 2 minutes.
Indians, again, though, Jim, is to keep Drapo on the floor.
Fire. Alicia's got it. The Indians with the lead and the ball.
Will they pull it out? We know Smith and Boucher shot well from the line the other night. Drapo's shooting well from the foul line.
Let's see what they're going to do.
Drapo's not on the floor. I would foul Kibbe if I was Pembroke. Good trap, good trap. Alosa touched the ball last. Oh boy, I'll tell you, these fans are really treated to a ball game here. 124 in the game. And Pembroke in a man-to-man. And they can play man-to-man, folks. Even though their premier defense is zone, they can play man. They are good athletes there at Pembroke.
All right, Jason Smith. He is fouled by Alosa. Well, we said on any given night, this is tournament play, and Pembroke may very well pull this out and win it, but you got to give these Merrimack Valley kids credit.
The key again is keeping Drapo on the floor, and for Pembroke, keeping Vire on the floor.
And making these.
Look at that rebound by Vire and a foul on Kibbe. John Vire is a big game player.
Vire is 0 for 2 from the line tonight. The other night he did not go to the line, so. And he's going for a 1-and-1. A big rebound here.
Big miss by Jason Smith down at the other end.
And it comes to Alosa. Got a foul
on Kibbe.
Kibbe.
Great rebound by Matty. Again, he gets in there. Point guard. He's got great leaping ability. I think that fans in the Concord area have seen Matt Alosa's talent all year, but they're seeing his heart right now.
He gets 2. He is 7 of 8 from the line. That ties it.
And you know, Pembroke has won their games by so many points all year long that you haven't been able to see this character side of them and the heart and the fight that they really have.
We're going to have a timeout. 61 to 60. Academy up with a minute 12 to go.
The only thing here with 1:12 to go, for whatever it's worth, Jim, is that Merrimack Valley has been in this situation 5 or 6 times this year, maybe even more. Pembroke has not. The closest anybody came to Pembroke all year long was Concord High in the Christmas tournament. I think that ended up to be a 7-point Pembroke victory. And Merrimack Valley has been here in this situation several times this year, for whatever that's worth.
We've also seen how quick Monahan and Alosa are and how effective they have played in the final minute of several quarters here tonight against Merrimack Valley and against Conval. And they really can create things and make things happen in the final minute as teams are trying to either hold the ball or play for that shot. So we'll keep an eye on Monahan and Alosa and defensively and see what they do here.
A minute and 12 seconds, a long time. And the key again is keeping big Scotty Drapo in the game. What did you say he had, 37 points? Is that what your last?
37 points.
Wow. Good trap in the corner. Boy, Merrimack Valley having a tough time against this press. Scotty's got to get underneath. He's way outside right now. They got to get him underneath.
Taken away by Alosa, but they say he fouled. That's number 4 on that.
And now the key for Pembroke, obviously, is keeping Matt Alosa on the floor. So both superstars now strapped with 4 fouls. That's going to take a little bit of the defense away from Matt Alosa. He's been tough down there.
Well, also, you've got to think of the possibility of overtime and wanting your big guy in there, whether it be Drapo or Alosa. This is pressure. Ball game.
Wow.
That is the 5th front end of a 1-and-1 that Drapo has made tonight.
To the big guy on the screen.
39 points.
And now it's up to Pembroke again to come back. Man-to-man.
Alosa blocked by Drapo, picked up by Hill. 47 seconds to go. Hill still dribbling through traffic. And a foul.
Todd Hill will go to the foul line. 5'11" senior. This could be his greatest contribution to this team all year long.
Billy Clark has fouled out. The question is, has he fouled out for the final time? This is the only senior in the starting lineup, and what a career he has had.
And a standing ovation for Billy Clark, and well-deserved. All-state soccer player, outstanding athlete. Gives up his body and his heart and his soul every night for Pembroke Academy. Doesn't get the headlines, but he gets the job done night in and night out.
Todd Hill, another senior. Crunch time.
Look at the block shot by Scott Drapo with 4 fouls on him. Up, swats it over, and Hill
Makes him go. Drapo is 2 points away from tying the all-time 30 record of 41 points.
Alosa's taking it under. They need a 3-point shot. Vire.
Yes! For 3! We're tied. And it's stolen by Monahan. And a foul on...
Timeout. Timeout.
Timeout.
Oh, wow. Somebody from Pembroke threw a Coke bottle down on the floor at the official. Somebody in the Pembroke stands. That's not too cool. 64-64, 27 seconds. You people that are watching us now back in your living rooms, and you were here at UNH, I knew. I'll bet you your hearts were right up in your throats for the last 5 minutes down here, and you're a little bit calmer right now. Dale Vire, clutch player. Get off to such a slow start, but he is a money player. Often overlooked, John Vire is down there at Pembroke. Great 3-point shot. Matt Alosa got in the paint area and then wisely dished it back out to the 3-point line. And Pembroke has an advantage here with a Matt Alosa on the floor who can go to the hoop in traffic. They want to get it in his hands. They do.
26 seconds. You don't want to foul them. Here's a foul on Hill, number 3. The good thing is, if you're Merrimack Valley, is the foul came early. So if he makes them, you still have the ball. And if you're Matt Alosa, you're right where you want to be, on the foul line with the ball.
It's a great ball game.
What a great game.
64 all, 22 seconds to play. Matt Alosa at the line.
1-and-1. There it is on the Toho Soda scoreboard.
I told you fans the other night when he was missing those 9 of 18, with the pressure on, he never misses.
2-point lead and a timeout taken by Merrimack Valley. Still tons of time here for a couple of scores for either team.
The key for Pembroke down there, I know the Vire shot was big, but I'll bet you both coaches will agree that the ensuing steal off the press that Monahan's coming up with the ball and not allowing Merrimack Valley to get onto that floor and get the go-ahead points. That was the big play, although the Vire shot certainly very big to tie it up, and now the 2 Alosa foul shots to make it 66-64. And Pembroke's defense, I mean, they played that zone all year, but look how well they play the man-to-man. Good athletes down there.
Well, we told you to keep an eye on Skid Monahan. Very quick on the press.
Now the plus side of this whole game, I know it's been uncomfortable for Pembroke, is that the Valley not giving up their title very easily, and Pembroke is showing the character and the poise that they're really made of. They needed a close game to bring the heart out of these kids.
They're going to go down court, and it's taken away by Vire, but he loses it out. So Merrimack Valley will get the ball under their backs, and that only took 2 seconds. How long do you wait?
Well, let's see what happens. Now they should be able to get it to Drapo a little bit easier off the inbounds right here. Well, they're not going to be able to. They got to get inside the Drapo and let him do his thing.
Todd Hill puts it up. Alicia's got it. He puts it in.
Alicia, big rebound.
9 seconds. Here comes Alosa. It's taken away by Kibbe. Kicked around. Jason Smith has got it. We're going to overtime.
Unbelievable sequence. Andy Alicia with a big offensive rebound and basket to send it into overtime. And for the sake of both schools, both superstars are still in the game. Drapo with 4 fouls and Matalosa with 4 fouls, and that's kind of nice. We'll be back for the overtime right after this. Stay with us. In the corners, under the balconies, and here we go for overtime.
What a
Pembroke
memorable game
Yep.
taken by Kavanaugh. Billy Clark is out of the game for Pembroke Academy. Alosa has 4. Pertell has 4. Drapo has 4. John Vire.
Mr. Clutch coming through time and time again. The Vire 3-point shot. Just when it looked like the Indians were going to steal it, John Vire hit that long 3-pointer. Man-to-man by Pembroke here.
Taken by Vire.
That's a good defense. I don't know why Ed Clough hasn't played it more this year. That's a good defense. They took the game out of Crockett High's hands with a nice man-to-man in the 4th period of that game. Man-to-man by the Indians. Todd Hill on Alosa.
Kennett's going to be thinking no matter who wins this game, it's not going to be a day at the beach. What a nice pass into Pertell. Alicia fouls him. Beautiful pass. Vire has really taken control here in the final minute of regulation and into overtime with his passing and his scoring. Number 2 on Alicia.
You know, Vire, as a sophomore, always played better if he got off to a quick start, and he would get down on himself if he got off slowly. Well, you can see his maturity over a year since last year. He got off to a very slow start here, but he is playing brilliantly now, and he has matured as a player and as a person.
Pertell.
Let's look at this pass again. You're going to see Pertell. Nice inside pass by Vire as he draws the entire Merrimack Valley defense to him.
That puts them up by 3 with 1:58 to go. We're in overtime. Here's a steal by Kavanaugh. And Drapo almost. I'm going to call it travel. Drapo went for the ball and then looked up.
Kavanaugh came up with a big steal in the corner, and we shouldn't overlook that. Kavanaugh has been tremendous here. Big Peter, 6'2" senior. He won't get headlines either, but he's played a great role. Look at the doorway. Look how jammed it is here at the Fieldhouse. A memorable night here in Class I at UNH.
Folks who came out for this one won't forget it in a hurry. Drapo's got it. That ties the record set by Craig Keeler in 1972. Most points, 1 player, 1 tournament game. That's unofficial. That's 41 as I have it. 1-point lead. Vire puts it up. Alicia.
Vire probably didn't have to take that kind of shot with a 1-point lead. But he's had the rhythm and he's had the hot hands, and who's to deny him? Look at those guards play defense.
Good switch. Drapo.
He breaks the all-time scoring record here in Class I. Scott Drapo.
Alosa. Vire into the paint. Vire comes right back. 1-point lead. Now they want Kibbe puts it back. It's good.
Nice pass by Drapo from the top of the key down underneath to Kibbe, and he's been tremendous tonight. Kibbe has.
Monahan taken by Pertell, blocked by Drapo. He's out of here. 25 seconds in the overtime, and Drapo is going to take a seat.
And we're going to have to look at that.
43 points for Scott Drapo.
What a great night here as he gets a standing ovation from both sides here at UNH. What class by the Pembroke people as well. A standing ovation by everybody in the building here. 43 points and a new tournament record. He fouls out, 25 seconds to play. Look at them, they're all up here at UNH. And a new Class I single game tournament scoring record. Let's look at it again. Scotty went way up in the air. He was fought hard by, it looked like Alosa down there. There's the tip over there. And the call by official Dick Gagne. We didn't have a good vantage point from our camera angle down there, but it looked like Scotty might have banged him on the head as well as get part of that ball.
Here's the announcement. 43 points. We broke another record tonight. Pembroke Academy's Craig Keeler in 72, and I think I saw Craig here in the building. I think I saw Craig walk in. And he also broke Frank Alosa's record for the most foul shots in one game. 14, set in 65, and then equaled again by David Roth of Kingswood a year later in 66.
And now, is it Ryan Pertell that's going to go to that foul line down
I believe Pertell will go, and he is 2 of 5 tonight, and a sophomore. Talk about pressure. Fires most points one player state tournament, 122, and Drapo with 69. That record is pretty secure for a while, and Drapo, of course, would have to hope his team wins here so he can get a chance to come back.
Tough here, Jim. Beyer and Alosa, those two second positions on the lane, they're both leapers.
Pertell. The best that Pembroke can do at this point on the line is tie. Alicia's a leaper. Kibbe's got some muscle.
Mark Boucher back in the game. So Boucher, Smith, and Alicia are going to have to get this ball up the court.
It is taken by Kibbe.
Is he traveling or was he fouled?
He got a foul.
And Kibbe is hurt. And if you want to see collective hearts up in the throat, where do you see Jeff Kibbe go to the foul line here with his shot put style? We haven't seen it all night.
That's 4 on Alosa, and a timeout call for by Ed Clough with 24 seconds to go.
And Kibbe's limping. Kibbe is limping to the bench down there. Timeout on the floor. And does Kevin O'Brien have a foul shooter down there and perhaps take Kibbe out and put somebody else out at that line? He's allowed to do that. You see Kibbe's in obvious discomfort down there. He has twisted his ankle. He is going to the foul line. There are 24 seconds left to play. 72-71, Merrimack Valley with the lead. Matt Alosa has 32 points and 4 fouls on him. He's still on the floor. Scott Drapo has fouled out. He has 43 points, a new Class I tournament record. 24 seconds left to play, and Kibbe, is he going to go to the foul line? That's the storyline here right now in this semifinal contest. There are 4 Indians out there, and Kibbe is limping to the foul line. And Kevin O'Brien must feel that Kibbe, warmed up, is in a better situation to shoot the foul than any sub on that bench.
Yeah, he is 1 of 2 tonight.
Watch this style. Unbelievable. Beyer has the rebound.
Alosa has the ball. 18 seconds. 1-point lead.
Oh, Boucher might have hit him. Oh!
And it's going back to the Indians. Lost out of bounds.
What I'd like to do is get it into Smith or Boucher's hands so they can go to the foul line. Alicia should be taking that ball out.
Comes into Edney. To
There's
Boucher.
Now Boucher was the one that was 10 for 10 the other night, Jim.
There's the clock.
You see the
10
clock.
seconds away from a major upset in Class I.
The other night, there were 10 seconds left against Conval in the half, and Pembroke scored 5 points.
Yep.
They are explosive. This game is not over.
No, sir. Boucher has not been to the line all night.
He was 10 of 10 in the quarterfinals, but that's academic. He wasn't in any kind of overtime the other night.
No, and this is a 1-and-1.
Nope. Fire with another big rebound.
7 seconds. The crowd is standing. Fire for 3. Around and out. Put up by Monahan. That's it all game. It's an upset. Merrimack Valley, the defending Class I champs, have knocked off Pembroke Academy 72-71. This place is going absolutely crazy. The Indians will come back on Saturday night, looking to defend their title, and look at them surround Scotty Drapo.
And the Spartans are stunned. Well, they should be, but they're getting ready to shake hands, and they are going to offer their congratulations to Merrimack Valley. Just an unbelievable turn of events here. 72-71 in overtime. Merrimack Valley behind Scott Drapo's 43 points.
Well, he said, climb aboard, boys. Get on my shoulders. Here we go. And now Scott getting some handshakes from the Pembroke fans. And I'll tell you, the fans on both sides showed a lot of class here tonight. The way they cheered all of the kids out on the floor. Just an absolute classic matchup, Harvey, that they'll be talking about for a lot of years. 6-5.
Well, you know, when the Pembroke
overtime
fans stood up en masse, as you see Scott Drapo and Kevin O'Brien hug on your screen, when they stood up and gave Scotty Drapo a standing ovation, they loved their basketball in Pembroke Academy, and I'm going to head down on the floor and see if we can get some interviews here. Stay with us.
All right, Harvey Smith will be going down and quickly seeing if he can grab an interview or two with the Indians. Let me just quickly tell you the scoring here. Drapo with 43, and again, that breaks the record of 41 held by Craig Killer that he set back in 1972 for Pembroke Academy. The most points for one player in a final game are 36 held by Mark Yetton for Pembroke back in 1973, but 43 for Drapo. Edney had a bucket. Jeff Kibbe had 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 points. Todd Hill with 2 from the foul line. Alicia with 13 points and some big rebounds. Jason Smith had 5 points. And that is the total for Merrimack Valley. They trailed by 3 after 1. It was 33-32 at the half. They outscored Pembroke 6-5 in the overtime. We'll come back with Harvey's post-game interviews right after this timeout.
When it comes to dealing with money, a lot of people get
And what I ask here, Scott, because last year was so tremendous, Merrimack Valley winning their first ever state championship, but can it get any better than this for you tonight?
I don't think so. I think this is like the championship game for the whole thing. You know, we played our hearts out. Coach came up with a defense yesterday and told us, you know, just tell me it's going to work. It's going to work, you know. And we didn't believe him the first time, you know. We were like running around, you know. And then we came in the second day, you know, it worked. You know, we were busting our behinds out there.
Scott, I know, and I'm going to ask you, Coach, about this too, but when you got the 4 fouls on you early in the third period, you had to sit out almost the entire third period and a little bit of the fourth period. What did the coach say to you? Did he have a certain point total in mind? When was he going to put you back in?
He didn't say a word. He didn't say one thing to me. He just said, sit down. You know, and I mean, the kids out there that took my place did a great job, you know. You can't ask for anything more. They did a fine job, and, you know, I compliment on it.
Well, I know records don't mean anything tonight. The team thing is so important, but the foul shooting record and the best all-time single game record, you got to feel proud about those, because those are little rewards for all that off-season work.
Yeah, but records don't mean anything. I just want to win another state championship. That's all I came out here for tonight, is to win. You know, I don't care about records. I just want to win. You know, I just love it.
Well, listen, I admire your growth as a basketball player over the last 3 years, but I really commended on the air tonight your growth as a person. You showed some leadership skills. You took Merrimack Valley on your shoulders, and you rode them all the way to the finals. Let's go.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, Scott, let's talk to happy Kevin O'Brien, who has tears in his eyes, and well-deserved, Kevin. And I know you believed it since you won the quarterfinals the other night, and getting your kids to believe it after talking to Scott. At what point in the game did they believe?
Well, to be honest with you, I think we believed from the outset. I told them, I said, guys, you trust me. If you trust me and you do what I ask you to do, I promise you won't be unhappy with the results. I said, I promise you we'll be in the game at the end of the game. I promise you that. And as Scott mentioned, I changed the defense up. We went with what we did was go man-to-man on Byer, Alosa, and Monahan, and just put Drapo and Alistair in the paint to play that zone. And at first, when we first did it on the first night we did in practice, they all looked at me like, Coach, this ain't going to work. I said, listen, matter of fact, I tried it 3 or 4 times. I ended up stopping. I finally said, look, we got a choice. We're going to do it this way, and you got to trust me on this, or else we might as well just come to the game and fold our tent. We have to do something different. We've had 3 losses to them, okay? They're a powerful team. So then they all got together, we had a little talk, and they said, we're going to do it. So either we're going to win big with this thing or we're going to lose big with it, Coach. And you just lead us to victory. So that's all we had to do, and it worked out well.
You know, Kevin, I watched that defense unfold, a little tandem in 3. And one of the but I know Scott had 4 fouls, and you put him down in the house and said, stay in the house and don't come out of it. But Alistair was your other man in there, and he was all over the court, keeping the pressure off Scotty in that defense.
Andy Alistair he's played 2 great ball games. You know what I mean? I just want him to play me one more. One more this year. That's all I'm asking for, and he's done a heck of a job for us.
Scotty went down with 4 fouls very early in the 3rd period. Did you have a set point total in mind when you were going to bring him back, or did you have a timeline?
As long as we kept it within 4 or 5 points, I was going to keep him on the pine. I was also looking when they were going to go with Byer, too. I figured he was going to go with Byer in the beginning of the 7th, and at the 7-minute marker. Let me slow down here. Too excited. I knew he was going to go with Byer at the beginning of the 4th quarter. I wanted to hold Scotty to about 6:50 or something if I could, unless it got out of control. They came down and hit one more bucket. I think it put him up by 6. I said, we got to go with you, babe. Just use your head, and you'll be okay. So
I know that people are going to look at this overtime, and they're going to look at Scott Drapo breaking the record. And what they're not going to see, Kevin, are the 8 or 9 minutes that your team played in that second half without Scott Drapo on the floor. And that's where the game was really won.
I did a hell of a job out there without Scotty there. And, you know, we practice that a lot. A lot of times I'll have him come over in the court and just stand next to me. And he says, why are you taking me out? How come I'm not playing offense and defense? Because I want us to be used to you not being there. You know what I mean? I want the kids to get comfortable with it. And in the beginning, we were having difficulty. But then once Andy, I think, hit a layup or something, we got more comfortable with it, and we were all set.
I asked one reporter this year if you took Alosa out for them and Drapo out for you, who would win the game? And he said to me, Pembroke would win it easily. Well, we took Drapo out of the game. Alosa was still on the floor. You got to be proud of those kids.
I'm very proud of those kids. They came through, you know, Pembroke Academy, great ball club.